Good morning. This is Rebecca from Rebecca Inc. And today we are going to draw an alpaca. He's going to end up looking a little bit like this. So grab your pencil, your marker, an eraser, and a piece of paper, and come right back. Put me on pause and come right back. All right, you are back. I'm going to move my guide. You are going to grab your pencil. I am going to use a marker so that you can see me better. And we are going to draw an alpaca. All right, we are going to start with the face of our alpaca, and it's going to live in the upper portion of our piece of paper. We're going to begin with a very large circle. If you feel nervous, take a deep breath. Grab your pencil. We're going to start with a large circle. Our wrist and our hand are going to stay still. We're going to get our shoulder going, our whole arm, and we're going to start to make a shape of a circle. It's going to be about this big, and we're going to set our pencil down when we feel like we have a nice shape going, and we're going to go around and around and around, just like that. Do you see how on mine, it's not a perfect circle? But as I go around and around and around, I arrive at a pretty good shape. So I'm happy with that, and I'm going to leave it just like that. You should do the same. Okay, so now we are going to go to the top of our alpaca's head, and we're going to draw an oval. If you Google alpacas, you'll see they have some really beautiful fur. And the one that I chose, it just had a haircut. So he had a tuft of fur here and some fur down here. And then his little neck was kind of shaved. So super cute. So this is going to end up being the tuft of our fur. So you've drawn a circle for the face and now an oval for the tuft of fur on top of its head. Now we're going to go off to the side here and we're going to draw an oval and a triangle for its ear. So I'm going to draw an oval about that big. I'm pointing it down because my little guy has ears that point down. Maybe yours go straight out. Maybe you want him to be at attention so you can point him up a little bit. Feel free to do that. You decide what you want your alpaca to look like. And at the end of that oval, I'm going to draw a triangle, just like that. With my triangle, I'm using some finer motor skills. I'm using just my fingers to go up and down, up and down, up and down. If you feel more comfortable, rotate your paper so that you can get your shape the way that you want it. So we've drawn an oval and then a triangle. That will become our ear. Now we are going to go from one side of that oval into that triangle. We're just going to draw a slightly curved line like that and cut it in half. Okay, just like that. Super simple line. Cut that shape in half. That's going to be the top of our ear and the bottom of the ear. Let's go to the other side and do the same thing. We're going to draw an oval, just like that, with a triangle on the bottom using your fingers. Now to get that shape, I've planted my wrist and then I'm just moving my fingers to get that triangle on the end. You try doing the same thing. Okay, now we're going to cut that shape in half. If it helps you, you can plant your wrist and plant your arm and just move your wrist at the natural angle that it's going to go at, and that can help you cut that shape in half. Okay, next up, we're going to move inside our face circle and we're going to draw some eyes. So on one side, right where these shapes meet, let's draw a circle. It's going to be about this big. Give me a thumbs up in the comments below if you can hear me okay. That can be our code. Okay, there we go. One large circle for an eye. Now let's move over to the other side and draw another large circle for the eye. Just like that. Okay, inside that circle, we are going to go about 3/4 of the way up, and we're going to draw a nice arc coming out, just like that. A nice arc coming out. Can you guess what that's going to be? It's going to be our eyelashes. And then let's do the same thing on the other side. Now on this side, you see how I needed to tilt my paper? I'm using my wrist and I'm putting my pencil down and just moving my wrist in that natural arc that it's going to make. Just going like that with my wrist and setting my pencil down, and you will arrive at a beautiful arc just like that. Those are going to be our alpaca's eyelashes. I said yak. We drew a yak the other day, so if you want to draw a yak, scroll down and you'll find a yak video. Okay, next up, let's do a little circle inside of our eye, just like this. For the little circles, I'm using my fine motor skills, using my fingers, going around and around and around and around. Again, we're not worrying about making a perfect shape. We're not erasing anything at this point. In the long run, we will trace over our favorite lines with a marker, and we will erase all of this pencil. So we're not going to worry about making it perfect right now. Okay, in the middle of the face, let's draw just a little higher than these eyes. Let's draw one more circle, just like this. This is going to help us know where to put his messy little fur for the top of his head. Okay, let's see, what else do I have on my guide here? Under these eyes, let's draw a slight line like this. And another slight line over here, just like this. If I am going too fast for you at any point, please feel free, pause me, catch up, and when we come back, I will be right here, okay? All right. Now we are moving on. Underneath that eye, they have almost like a little bag under their eye. Maybe they're tired. So we're going to draw another circle around that eye, just like that. It's going to be a little bit bigger. This is going to be our guide to help us know where to put those bag lines. So you're just going to draw another circle around that eye. So we've done one circle that will be our eye, a little circle that will be the highlight in our eye, and now we are drawing a bigger circle around those that will end up being the little bags under the eyes. Let's move on to the mouth. Okay, so the mouth of an alpaca is going to live right about here. We are going to draw one circle, just like that, about the same size as the eyes and that spacer that we put there. We're going to draw another one just like that. And inside that one, we are going to draw another one, just like that. Now on either side of that circle, we're going to draw two slightly bigger circles that are going to overlap it. One like this. I'm getting my arm moving from my shoulder. Another one like this. And I'm going around and around and around. And where I end up with the size I want, I put my pencil down and I go around and around and around and around. These are not going to be perfect, and that is okay. Art is not perfect. That's what makes it so wonderful. It's perfectly imperfect, I like to say. All right, so this will end up being our alpaca's mouth. And then below that, let's draw another little circle, about like this. Our alpaca is going to have some fur that lives on the bottom of his face. So we're going to add in a little bit of that. Then we're going to go back in and add in, you know how we had that oval on the top? We're going to do another oval on the bottom here. And that's going to give us our alpaca's beard. We're going to call it a beard. So let's draw in another oval there. It's going to live right about here. Give me a heart in the comments if you are having fun at this point. All right. From there, from this oval, let's draw two simple lines. We're just going to go straight down. One on that side, and then one on the other side. They don't have to be spaced in any way, shape, or form. This is going to be our alpaca's nice long neck. So you're going to draw one line straight down and another line straight down. See how mine are not perfectly straight? Yours won't be either, and that is perfect. Okay, now let's go back up to this nose. Their nose is going to live right above their mouth. See where these two circles come together? This is going to be the point of our triangle. We're going to draw a nice wide triangle, just like this. It's going to live just at the top of those two circles, just like that. Nice wide triangle. And it's going to come up to the top part of what will be our beard. So you're going to draw a nice triangle right there. It's a little bit bigger, so if you want to plant your elbow and move from your shoulder to get yourself going on that shape. You're moving your whole arm, and that will help you get that nice shape there. Inside that triangle, we are going to draw two more. One here, tilted. If it helps you, rotate your paper. If you can only draw a triangle going one direction, tilt your paper and draw it that direction. All right, we are getting there. From here, we're going to draw a little circle here and a little circle here. That will give us the top part of the nose. Our circle is going to overlap that triangle, just like that, and another one on that side, just like that. You're doing so good. From there, we're going to draw one little line up and another little line up. And believe it or not, that is all we need to draw a really, really cute alpaca. So you are going to set down your pencil and get out your marker. I'm using a Sharpie. You can use whatever kind of marker you have on hand. If you don't have a marker, grab a pen. You just want something that you cannot erase when we go to erase all of our guides. Okay, so I'm hoping that you can see how our alpaca is starting to come together. We are going to start at the top of our alpaca in that. Actually, let's save that part. That's going to be a really fun part. Let's start at the ear. Let's go from this corner of the ear. We're going to go over that oval that we drew and straight into that triangle. We're going to go slow because we are not going to trace over everything that we just drew. We're going to use the lines that we have as guides. So start at the corner here, follow over that oval and into that triangle, just like that. Now we're going to go back from that triangle into that oval and back up to that eye. In that eye, we are going to just draw a little bit of that top circle. Right here, we're just going to draw up a little bit, just like that. That top circle there. That's going to be the eyelid of our alpaca. I like how I use hand shapes, like you can see what I'm talking about. But you're going to use a little line there to create the eyelid of our alpaca. Now we are going to draw over this whole arc that we made. You're just going to trace right over what you had. Again, we're going to go one continuous line. Try not to sketch. One continuous line over to create the eyelid there. Then we are going to go around the rest of that circle along the bottom, just like that, and back up to where it meets up with our eyelid. You see that? And then we are going to draw around that inner circle. You're going to find your favorite line on those circles, and you're just tracing over what you've already done. So you've already done the hard work. Now we're just tracing over. If you want, go ahead and take a minute and fill in your eye. There's really no way to do that that's better than the other. You can do little strokes or big strokes. I'm doing a combination. Do little strokes around the edge, bigger strokes in the middle, little strokes at the top. If I'm going too fast, this might be a good point to pause me. Fill in your eye, and then hit play when it is filled in. See how I went over my circle there? I'm not going to worry about it. Don't you worry about it either. I had a teacher in college who would say, these are happy accidents and we live with them. And they're what gives our drawings some character. So don't stress about it. Enjoy your happy accidents. They're going to be what makes your drawing uniquely yours, okay? Underneath that eye, you're going to just go right over that little mark that you made under his eye. Now, for that bigger circle, we're going to just fill in right here on there. We're just going to go over that little bit right there, just like that. Let's go over to the other side and draw the exact same things. we're going to go from the oval onto that triangle, the triangle back to the oval, to the eye. Oh, you know what line I forgot? I forgot the top of the ear. Let's add that in. One little curve through the oval, through the triangle, slicing that shape in half. Do the same thing on the other side. Add in that line that you drew, slicing those two shapes in half. Okay, back to this eye. We're going to do the same thing we did on the other side. We're going to start on the eyelid and go down and stop. Then we're going to cut that shape with that arc that we made using our wrist. You can go back over it a few times. I'm going to add in another one, give it some fancy eyelashes. You are welcome to do whatever you want there. If you want to add in some eyelashes, the shape that I'm using, I'm going over that arc and I'm just going up a little bit and back down, tracing over my line. It makes it look kind of cute. Okay, from here, we are going to trace around that circle, back up to that line. See how my hand wavered a little bit right there? That is fine. We're not going to worry about that kind of stuff. I don't want you to worry about it. It's going to make my drawing uniquely mine. Okay, so now we're going to draw around that inner part that will be the highlight of our alpaca's eye, just like that. Then go ahead and fill in your eye. If I had a way to time lapse and fast forward through this part, I would, but I don't. So we're just going to fill in the eye together. If I go faster than you go, pause me, fill in your eye, and then hit play when you are ready to catch back up. I'll be right here. Give me a smiley face if you're having fun, and then make sure to share in the comments below what you draw. Okay, now we're going to add in this little line underneath our eye right here. I'm just going to trace over exactly what I had drawn, just like that. Then we're going to go to the inside and go a little bit of the way around that second circle. Remember the circle that we drew around the eye? We're just highlighting one little section of that. And it's going to give us like the bags that are underneath our alpaca's eyes. Okay, now we are going to, let's go in and figure out this nose and this mouth. They look like a lot of shapes, but we're not going to trace over all of them. So they'll end up looking much more simple than what we have here. So for now, we are going to start on these circles that we drew. We're going to draw around, it's almost like you're drawing the letter C. We're going to go around a portion of that circle, just like that. And let's do the same on the other side. Around a portion of that circle, draw a backwards C. See how mine, they're not lined up exactly. It's okay. Now we went into the inside of the nose there, into that triangle that we drew, that little triangle. Go ahead and draw around that little triangle all the way around it and fill it in. You just made the nostrils of your alpaca. From there, you know these little lines that we drew at the top? We're going to trace right over top of those, just like that. I'm going to add in a little detail. You can do the same if you want. Right in between all of this, I'm just going to put 3 little dots, just like that. That's going to be the indicator of the top of the nose. Then I'm going to come back down to the nose. Remember that triangle that we drew in the beginning when we were drawing the shape of our nose? I'm just going to highlight the bottom part of that triangle. When we erase all the guides, you'll see how this comes together. So cute. Okay, now we've got these 3 circles to deal with. We are going to go almost all the way around these 2 larger ones, but not quite. We're going to start right about here, and we're going to go around that circle and up to the nose. So 3/4 of that circle will be drawn. This other part we're not filling in, but some of it was filled in with our other shapes. You see that? Okay, over to the other side. 3/4 of the way around, just like that. You're doing so good, and I bet you're starting to see your alpaca come together and you're getting excited. Now at the bottom, we're just going to highlight a little bit of that circle. Make our alpaca smile. And then the same thing with that chin, a little bit of that circle. So we drew 3/4 of the way, 3/4 of the way, a little bit of that circle, and a little bit of that circle. All right, now we are left with all of the fun parts. We are gonna do, let's do from the eye, we're gonna go around that face circle down to where we have that oval, and then we're gonna stop. Then we're gonna go on the same on the other side around that face circle, and then we're gonna stop. Now for the fur that is gonna be on the head and on the base of the face, our little beard and our little soul patch maybe, we are going to use some curly shapes. So you can practice on the side or on another piece of paper if you don't want to do it on here. Let me show you on another piece of paper the shapes I'm talking about. If you would rather switch back to your pencil, feel free to switch back to your pencil. We're going to do some shapes like this, where it's just in and out and around like that. Or if you want, you could do some loops like that. If you're not sure you want it to have nice, soft, rounded fur, you could do some jagged fur like that. You decide the shape of your fur there. I'm going to use a combination of just the curls and the swirls. If you want to think of it more literally, you could draw some S shapes, like tilt your paper and draw an S, and then you can draw a C and just rotate your paper, and that will give you some nice curly shapes. If you can write the letter S and you can write the letter C, you can create some cute little swirly shapes using those shapes. So we're going to start on the top of the head. Again, if you want to sketch this out ahead of time, pause me, sketch it out, but I think you've got this. So we're going to start over by the ear, and I'm just going to draw a nice S shape, go like this and around. I'm going to go over it, and then I'm going to do a swirl. You can come up with any kind of swirl that you want. I'm going to do a U shape there, and another swirl over here. You come up with whatever shapes that you want. A nice little loop there to come up with the curls on top of our guy's head. We're going to follow that oval around and then up over that center circle. Tilt your paper, draw some S's and some C's, just like that, to get our swirls. You can go over them a few times with your marker to give it kind of a mussy feel, because their hair is definitely, called it their hair, their fur is definitely a little mussy. All right, now we're going to go up and around that inner circle, just like that. You're doing good. Again, if you're more comfortable, sketch that out with your pencil first. But I think you've got it. I think you just need to relax and go with it. This center circle that we drew, remember when we did the wolf and we did the jig-jags with the fur? That's all you're going to do around that center circle. You're going to go down and up and down and up and down. And you can decide, does your alpaca have little ups and downs or big ups and downs there? All right, now moving down to our beard, we're going to do that same in and out, nice and curly, around the base and up to the chin here. So we're going to connect it. Oop, I need to switch back to my regular marker. Sorry. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Okay, we're going to go down and around and down and around, just like that. If you want, you could do little arcs like that. I'm going to tuck it up to the chin. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, down and back and down and back and down and back. If you need to do one and then stop and the other and then stop, you can do that too, like that, if that helps you. If it helps you to tilt your paper, tilt your paper. Now we're going to do our little chin chin. Same kind of thing, in and out, down and around, S's and C's, backward E's. And we have our guy. I'm going to go over this with our marker. I switched to what would be your pencil to show you. But now I'm going to go over it with my marker real quick. Down and around. This is something you don't want to overthink. You don't want to sketch, sketch, sketch. You just want to be nice and loose and create some shapes with your hands. I'm super excited to see what you do with the curls on your alpaca. I bet they are going to be adorable. Okay, now we are left with our long neck. Google an alpaca and you will see their adorable long necks. So this one just had his neck shaved. So we are going to do just like we did yesterday when we did that snow fox. I saw a bunch of your drawings and you did so good. We're going to do just a little bit of fur, just like we did on the snow fox yesterday. You're going to touch your pen to your line and just flick it out just like that. We did this on the squirrel, we did this on the snow wolf or snow fox. So you're going to be professionals at it at this point. If you haven't done those tutorials, scroll down. I've got lots on here for you to do while you're at home. All right, you just did an alpaca. Super duper cute. Now you're going to set down your marker and grab your eraser. I'm going to switch over to my original one because I did this one in pencil, and I'm going to erase right along with you. So you are going to erase your lines. It doesn't matter if you don't have an eraser just like mine. You can use the back of a pencil. If you have a pink eraser, grab that. Go ahead and erase your lines. You might want to hold your paper down with your other hand and erase just like that. And you are going to be left with a super cute alpaca. I'm glad that you came and drew with me today. I'm needing some more suggestions on what to do the next few days. I want to thank Becky Wilson for the suggestion of an alpaca. And post what you drew. I'll go back to the original one, or the one we did today. Post what you drew in the comments below. Make sure to sign your drawing and send me what you drew. If you're looking for some other things to do today, you can go on RebeccaInk.com. I've got some downloadable coloring pages for you to do. And you can check out at Rebecca Inkabink on Instagram to see what I'm working on later on this afternoon in the studio. Thank you for spending some time with me this morning, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!